I thought I was dying. My heart was racing at over 130 beats per minute, blood pressure 150 over 100. My wife was holding me, terrified. My 10-year-old son came out of his room and asked, "Is Daddy okay?" I didn't have an answer. That night I had a nervous system breakdown and it changed everything. My name is Daniel. I'm in my late 40s, a finance executive, father of two young kids and someone who always thought I had stress completely under control. I was wrong. In this video, I'm sharing the raw, unfiltered truth of the first terrifying weeks of my burnout. Constant anxiety, intrusive thoughts, hospitalizations, and feeling like my body and mind were no longer mine. But most importantly, the first signs of hope and how recovery started for me. It was Monday. I went to bed around midnight but felt off, my heart pounding in my ears, flashes when I closed my eyes. I got up and checked my blood pressure. It was sky high. My thoughts were racing about work. Went to bed again and then, boom, a weird tingling sensation starting on the side of my head and moved down my body. A feeling of despair and nervousness flooded my mind and body. Heart started racing uncontrollably. I sat on the edge of my bed and told my wife, "Call an ambulance. I think I'm having a heart attack." Whilst the ambulance staff were there, my son came out and asked if I was okay. That moment still breaks me. At the hospital ER, I did various tests and scans. Hours later, nothing was physically wrong and blood pressure was trending down. I took the taxi home at 4 a.m., completely shaken and terrified this will happen again because I didn't have a diagnosis nor explanation for what happened. The next morning, my nervous system felt foreign. Waves of dread and anxiety every time I sat down. I had to pace back and forth non-stop, tingling arms, cold hands and feet, constant tightness in my chest. Sleep was broken. I moved to the couch because the bed felt unsafe. 4 nights of barely sleeping, relying on playlists of rain and river sounds to calm myself down. By the weekend, I thought I felt better, so I returned to work. That was a mistake. First 2 days of work went okay. Then Wednesday night it all collapsed and my sleep completely disappeared. I was staring at the ceiling all night, my mind replaying hospital scenes, old arguments, fears for my kids and wife, and speculating what health issue might have caused this. Every tiny sensation, change in my environment or sound triggered panic. My body kept me awake for 3 straight nights. I called my boss. He told me to take extended leave and see a doctor, which I did. The psychiatrist prescribed sleeping pills, which helped at night, but daytime anxiety climbed higher and higher. Then came the intrusive thoughts, violent, looping, terrifying. I couldn't escape them and felt my mind was out of my control. On top of that, 2 more hospitalizations, new medication with horrible side effects. I lost my appetite, and with that, lost 13 pounds. I journaled and overanalyzed every symptom, desperate for signs of improvement. I cried constantly because I felt hopeless. My kids sat with me, worried faces asking if I'd be okay. I hugged them and said yes, but inside I wasn't sure. For weeks my nervous system felt like a separate entity, watching over me, keeping me awake and flooding me with adrenaline at the smallest trigger. But slowly I noticed tiny pockets of calm. A few hours, then half a day, then a full weekend where I could play with my kids without dread. Those pockets of calm were periods in which I could relax and finally felt sleepy. Intrusive thoughts were manageable, and I wasn't in a constant state of panic. That was the first real hope, which got better over time. Looking back and reflecting on the therapy I had, it was years of bottled and ignored emotions, unprocessed trauma, grief over losing my mother and best friend, a deep-rooted fear of death, and extreme work stress because of an outsized ambition I have. If you're in the middle of this right now, panic attacks, no sleep, feeling like your mind and body aren't yours, it doesn't stay this bad forever. I'm proof. In upcoming videos, I'll zoom into the weird symptoms I had and share exactly what helped me stabilize, rebuild routines, and come out mentally stronger. Please hit like and subscribe so that others find this content. And if you are comfortable, leave a comment. I felt at times alone in my struggle, and I am sure your encouragement will help others.